welcome to another episode of Sail It Today. This is your host Pooja, bringing you your unmissable dose of vitamin C. Now what would you say if I asked you what matters more, the journey or the destination? Well, ask Seaspan, one of the world's largest independent containers owner and manager, the same question, and his answer is quite simply both. Seaspan held its annual forum in Mumbai on November 20th and 21st with this interesting theme, valuing our customers the right way for the right results. The forum was an excellent platform for both top-ranking senior managers as well as sailing personnel to interact, connect and share. Present on the occasion were Mr. Hemran Shetty, Director of Fleet Personnel, Captain Eric Nielsen, Vice President of Strategic Planning and Operations, Captain Manoj Gandhi, General Manager, Captain Dinesh Jairam, Global Talent Acquisition Manager, and Alfred Gomez, Manager, Training and Development. We spoke with them that evening to gain some more insight. Let's have a look. Captain Eric Nielsen, who joined the company recently, said that though it has been only 4 months since he formally joined Seaspan, his association with the company and its top management dates back to nearly a decade, and he is now working towards making the company more efficient by formally joining the team. He pointed to two of Seaspan's biggest strongholds, the ships, which are state-of-the-art, highly fuel-efficient and characterized by fantastic design, which naturally makes them very competitive, and secondly, the crew which operates these ships. Seaspan, he said, has a highly trained and experienced crew, something the company works very hard towards with its strict selection procedures. Speaking on latest developments, he said the industry has transformed over the last decade, particularly with respect to fuel management and efficiency standards, and Seaspan has kept pace with the progress and the changing times. There's much more in this interview. Let's take a look. The threat of piracy at sea still looms large. In your opinion, what safety and security options can be put in place to help tackle this menace?
Shipping industry. I think on the piracy side, the development over the last couple of years has fortunately been very positive, meaning that we have seen a very strong reduction in the number of incidents of piracy, particularly in the Indian Ocean and Gulf of Aden. But I think the key things to tackle risk in a professional way, regardless what kind of risk it is, that is to make sure that you do a proper risk assessment and that everything have a layered approach to protect yourself best. Whether you are a tanker, whether you are a container ship, whether you're sailing 12 knots or 20 knots, it all depends. It all depends. So I think that's the key thing, to keep those things in mind.
What was your experience like at the 2-day Mumbai Forum? What message would you like to convey to the viewers?
Well, we just had our annual crew forum here in Mumbai, which was a 2-day session, and we focused on the industry, we focused on Seaspan, and then we focused on our colleagues at sea, how they can perform better. And it was extremely positive to engage with them. And I always say that we need to understand where we are going so that we know what to do to improve the results. And I would say, like I think I already said it, we have some of the best seafarers in the industry, and we have some very high demands, and we're not going to be releasing or relaxing on those demands. We are going to continue to recruit and retain the best officers. And the feedback we got from the officers at the forum and the families and the wives and children was actually very positive. People there are very passionate about the company, and they feel and understand that it's a part of the family. You are not just a number in the line. The management and the employees here in the office, they actually know the seafarers, and we meet with them regularly and are fully approachable. And that's a very strong asset, that we have that respect between what is happening at sea and what is it that's going on in the office. And if I can add a little bit, I think the key message that we were conveying in that respect was that the officers that out in the front line, they are the ones that are creating and developing Seaspan, we in the office, we're here to support them. That's our primary job, to support the seafarers.
You recently joined Seaspan, a global shipping giant. Please give us an overview of your background, as well as a sense of your personal management style, and maybe the priorities and operational challenges you expect to face.
A little background, I was around 20 years with volume ship management as a sailing master, and then I left them as a vice president, fleet personnel operation, to join Seaspan as head of operations India. It's been a very nice experience, a very educative experience being here in a company which is growing and has now become the largest non-operating owner as far as tonnage, number of TUs are concerned in the world. So the organization is very streamlined, and the integrity level is very high, and I found the people, the senior management, to be very focused. They have led the company for the last 14 years and they're still at the helm, and it was very easy to get integrated into their system, and things are going very fine.
An experienced sailor yourself, how has training in the Merchant Navy helped you in taking on your responsibilities ashore?
I found the transition from a sailing master to shore was quite easy, because I started off first as a regional head in Delhi, and then moved on to the went off to the head office, and then from number 2 operations I moved on to the head of operations in another company. So if you spend time at each milestone and then move on, yes, you learn and you put in your experience that you've gained, and it's a very transitional, smooth manner in which you move. I have been with this industry now for joined in 75, so it's 75, it means 25 and another 40 years now. That's the experience that I have in shipping industry. So, and it's an unbroken experience. I mean, I've not left to join any allied industry or anything. So I've been with one single industry, that is either sailing or ashore, training, involved in training, or along in planning and placement, interviewing people for the ships. Over.
How would you describe the vision of the company and its journey to date?
See, we are already the number 1 operating owner, and the vision is to remain the number 1 operating owner, to remain the first preferred choice for the charters that for whom we work with. We work with the biggest companies, chartering companies, Hapag-Lloyd, Yangmin, COSCO, China Shipping, Maersk, Hanjin, so MSC. So basically we are looking at growing, but the growth would be a steady growth, so that, I mean, we ensure that our ships remain under charter. We usually build fuel efficient ships which is latest as far as the technology is concerned. We keep upgrading our ships, and they are put on long-term charters so that the financial balance sheets remain strong, as we are a New York listed company and we have to maintain that. Thank you.
How would you describe the vision of the company and its journey to date?
Our mission is to be safe, reliable and economic, and so those are the three keywords that we use. So we are in the logistic chain business, and shipping is only a small part of the transportation. Cargo moves from the by road, rail, and then by sea, and again vice versa, road, rail and sea. So basically from the shipper to the consignee. So if we are not safe, reliable and economic, the whole logistic chain will break. So that's the mission, and the vision of the company is to be a supplier or of choice basically. So when our large container lines and partners, when they want to start a new service, or if they want an additional ship on a service, we would like them to look at us as somebody who can provide that extra tonnage to them, rather than we looking at business ourselves. We want the business to come to us. So that's how we want the company to grow for the future.
What are some of the qualities you would look for in an aspiring young seafarer who wishes to join Seaspan?
Well, for example, if you're taking a cadet induction, if you're talking about, we take roughly about close to 200 cadets in a year. And next year we already planned for 160 cadets, and we take from 7 different places, 6 or 7 places. India we take about roughly 60 cadets in a year, and that is deck, engine and electro. So we get involved in the pre-screening of the cadets. We got a tie-up with the MOU with Great Eastern Institute of Maritime Studies in Lonavala. So we have a tie-up with them because they are an ownership company and they have a similar thought process like us. They train for their needs, their ships. So the people are pretty aligned there. So we also contribute as a part of the resource in the academy. I'm on the governing council of the academy as well. So we are involved in the decision making of the academy as well. And once the boys are there for training, then we send some of our superintendents there for training the boys as well. And when they finish the training period, we interview them. We have various levels of interview, behavioral interviews, we have online tests, and basis all that we screen and select the cadets once they pass the medicals and do all the process. Then in the office we have a cadet training superintendent here in India. He's a one-stop for all the cadets all over the world. So as of now we have about 755 cadets on our payroll in various stages. Some are on board, some are on leave, some are on the ships, and some are doing the exams and things like that. We are also the only company which is operating 5 cadet training ships. So each of these cadet training ships we have 8 cadets. So if you have 8 deck cadets, we have an extra master on board. 8 engine cadets, we have extra chief engineer on board. And the cadets go with a curriculum of 3 to 4 months. So half the day is classroom sessions and the other half is hands-on experience, and then they join the other ships thereafter. So the male cadets, female cadets, all treated equally, and that's the workforce of the next generation. As of now, 25% of the junior officers in the company, they are all come from the bottom. So the company invests more than $2 million in this cadet training program, which I don't think any company does. So whether the business is good or bad, training does not stop at Seaspan. We are always looking at the future to build the workforce from the bottom. Then for those who we select from the industry with the training, we have very strict criteria by way of sea experience and rank, by way of trade test, by way of navigation assessment and things like that. And then with a parallel sailing and a detailed orientation induction in the office for 3 days, where we have all the systems here in the office, like for example, the stability program, the plant maintenance, the purchasing module, the payroll systems for use for masters and others, and various other training. So they are set for success right from here. And people who move from, say for example, the chief officer to the master rank or the second year to chief engineer rank, they spend about over a month in the Vancouver office and to understand the culture, to get connected with the operations and So it's a two-way learning for both for an aspiring new master and also for the office to understand the person who we are promoting on the ship.
At the annual company dinner, we saw many of your seafarers present with their spouse and children. According to you, these get-togethers perhaps help foster a sense of community?
Well, our annual function is we have the main forums, we have the mini forums, and we have one main forum and two mini forums. So the mini forum one we had is those are one-day events. We had one in Chennai, one in Chandigarh, and this main forum we had in Bombay, especially because it gives an opportunity for the office staff, because we got 80 people in the office now, so the office staff can come with their families and the seafarers can mingle with them. And for the seafarers, you can't get a platform where, for example, in the last forum what we had now, we had 21 masters with us there. There were 91 seafarers, out of which 21 are masters. So if you want to give a message to the key people in the company, or even to any other sea staff, you can't get a better platform than this, where the management can give the right message to the sea staff and the sea staff can give the right feedback back to the management. And then also the sea staff, they understand what exactly is the requirement from the management, So everybody has the big goal, the big picture in mind, and everybody works as a team thereafter, So everybody feels accountable for what's happening in the company. So that is very important, to partner everybody. So that when that happens in our Indian setup especially, many people have young children at home. So if you don't allow the families to come, or only the wife to come, then the wife cannot come because the child is very small, things like that. And who wouldn't like to stay in a nice 5-star hotel and have a weekend, So all are welcome. It's a big family. So we look at each seafarer as a Seaspan family member. Our top bosses, our vice presidents, and all of them, they come for it, and they especially spend an afternoon with the wives, only the wives, to talk to them, to understand their problem, to see what we can do to make the husbands feel better, or what do they feel that we lack as a company, or what do you think we should be doing, to hear their side of the story as well. So you get a perspective from the seafarers, from their wives as well, which is all important for us, and the children. It's all bonding in the end of the day.
Many of you seafarers who have been with the company for almost 10 years say that you've played a crucial role in their loyalty to the company. What aspect of the seafarers' professional and personal needs do you think requires special attention that in turn encourage them to stay with the company for so long?
I think as far as the seafarers go, basically all the seafarers, they are very genuine and they're very simple people actually. Just like me, I was a seafarer earlier, so kind of understand the psyche. I'm a good listener basically. I listen to their problems. If they have an issue, no matter what it is, we try and resolve it in the best possible way so that they are happy. Sometimes their needs are very small, and if they do you a favor, you can be sure that they will return the favor back to you. If the wives have some issue at home and if they call you and tell you, I'll look at that. Though I'm on the recruitment side, once the candidate is recruited, then I don't have much role to play except to make a call when they sign off and come and ask them how was the tour and how was everything. Is there anything that needs to be told by way of feedback to the management? And I ask that. Then certain families also, we are in touch with them if there's anything or their needs. If they need to fix their documents or whatever issues, it is done. Or somebody has to be convinced to go and relieve somebody on an emergency. That is also done to make sure that they realize the trouble that the company takes. Basically, being truthful to them. At the end of the day, seafarers are not fools. They are smart people, and you can get away by giving a fast one once or twice. But if you do that more than that, then you have no credibility left. But if they know that you are a genuine person who speaks the truth and connects with them and their families with your heart, and do your best. That's all they need, nothing else. They just want to go, do a trip, be safe, come back home when they want to be, and they will return a favor whenever you ask them. So there are no expectations from the seafarers. They're all my good friends, and I think all the guys who have been recruited in Seaspan are coming to me because I've been here right from day one, in the office.
How would you describe the vision of the company and its journey to date?
I've been 14 years now with Seaspan, right from the onset of this company. Started as the sailing master and then of course progressed to HSEQ and in training. So I've seen the growth of this company, and what I see is that the greatest assets of our seafarers is their attitudes, their knowledge, their skills. And in Seaspan we try to focus a lot on the attitude aspect, because if we see that 80% of accidents are because of human errors, so we focus a lot towards the leadership development of our seafarers through maritime resource management and other leadership training courses. We want to actually build leaders who will set an example on board the ships, and through which we will be able to reduce any incidents on board and really reflect the strong values and the integrity of this great company, Seaspan.
That was super amazing. Please do subscribe to our channel to get more fresh and exciting news about the world of seafarers. We'll be back with some more stirring news and surprises next week. Till then, do stay connected to Sailor Today, your liquor show while at sea. Sail safe.